What is going on, guys? Welcome to a new video. Obviously, this is a little bit of a different intro, a little bit of a different scenery we've got going on here. And before we get into the video, I kind of wanted to take like a minute or two. I'm really going to try to do this in one take. I really want to talk about kind of the future of this channel and what I want to do with it. So if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't put out a video in a couple of weeks. I did put out 2 podcasts a couple of weeks ago. This past week, I did not post a video, and I felt like I just needed a little bit of a break, and I feel like I needed a change of pace. Now, I was talking about this with one of my friends. I was very scared to take a break because I felt like if I took a break and I didn't put a time limit on it, I just said I need some time, I wouldn't go back to it, and I didn't want to do that because I do like doing this and I enjoy doing this. But I feel like I was forcing creativity, and I feel like you can't force creativity, and that's what my friend said to me, and I completely agreed with him 150%. So I feel like I needed to do something. Now I've really thought about what I want to do with this channel, and I'm gonna try to obviously keep the finance content, the productivity, the mental health, all that stuff. Keep the same content and the same messages, but make it more creative. I want to implement different transitions. I want to film in different places. Maybe not necessarily in public in a grocery store. I don't know if I want to do that. I think I might get to that eventually, but maybe not to start. But I think just by taking the camera with me and filming in different areas, one, it's going to make the content more interesting because it's not just going to be me talking in front of a whiteboard, not even using that whiteboard. And 2, I think it's just going to allow me to grow a little bit more because I'm not gonna just be filming in the comfort of my own home. I'm gonna be talking like this in public. Like right now I'm at the beach right near my house, and obviously I'm in the car, but I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna film stuff in a second. And I did that a little bit before, but I wanna start doing that again, and I wanna start making it more consistent because I look at the videos I've been making, I'm like, would I watch this? And I'm like, honestly, maybe. Like, I think I would watch it for the message, but I'm also a little bit of a different breed. I'm not that type of person that needs creative content 24/7. And also, I feel like by doing this, it's gonna allow my personality to come out a little bit more. I feel like you'll see more about me. These videos will be more personable, and I think it's just gonna be a lot of fun going forward. So that's the end of my rant. That did take one take, I promise you. So let's get into the video. All right. Now that intro is over with, I really have no idea how this audio quality is gonna come out because I just got this new external mic, and this is the first video we're actually trying it out with. I'm not wearing the lav mic that I'm normally wearing, so we're just gonna see what happens here. But I'm just gonna kind of sit by the sunset here and have a nice little fireside chat with you guys about kind of like my opinion on being able to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in whatever asset class that you would like. So I feel like the majority of people in this world understand that money's important, but I don't think the majority of people take action to better themselves and put themselves in a better financial position. And I don't think that's any specific person's fault from, I guess, a personal perspective. I think it's honestly society's fault, because as I've said so many times, money is a taboo topic, and that really screws a lot of people because they don't know anything about money. And why would you? You don't know how. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to ride a bike. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to swim. Why would you just automatically know how to manage finances and make money? And it's really frustrating to see because fortunately I was able to put myself in a position where I was able to sit down, learn how to pick stocks, learn about the stock market, learn about investing. And I'm very fortunate that I had that mindset and that came across my desk. I don't even remember how it came across my desk at this point in time, but I'm very happy that I was able to do that. But the majority of people don't do that. They're more likely to just, I guess, complain about it or just not really think too much about it and just keep putting it off as much as they possibly can, which really sucks because there's those people, the same people that are complaining about having $100 in their bank account, those are the same exact people that can legitimately change their financial future 10 times over if they just have the right mindset. And it's really sad to see because no one wants to listen at all. It's like everyone is brainwashed to the point where if you bring up money, it needs to be suppressed, cut off, and done like as soon as possible. And it's just so annoying. And I was a little hesitant to make this video because I didn't want it to come off as some weird flex or whatever the case may be, because I don't really think what I've done is anything special, to be perfectly honest with you. I kind of go with the proud but never satisfied mentality. But I was talking about this with one of my friends, and he was saying, you really can help a lot of people, and the amount of money you've been able to achieve at the age of 25 is more than some people see for legitimately their entire lives. Like, people retire with the amount of money you have. Obviously, they need to be a little bit older than I am to be able to do that, but that does not change the fact that that is true. And I really wanted to make this video, and I really wanted to make kind of revolving it around 5 different points that really stuck out to me on how I was able to achieve this level of money. And like I said, I don't think it's a ton of money, but if you go and look at some different studies, if you take my age, for example, 25 years old, you're gonna see that by 25, you should have around 20 grand in savings, investments, however you wanna cut it. And you're gonna see by between the age of 25 and 34, you should have a net worth of $9,000, which means that most likely your net worth is 0 by the age of 25, most likely because you've been paying off student loans since you graduated college. And that's if you're fortunate and you were in a good position graduating college. I know some people that have paid their student loans well into their 30s. And as I'm gonna say in this video, I feel like I could have put myself in this same position in a much healthier way, I guess you could say. I'm gonna kind of touch upon that here and there. That's something I'm actively working on, as some of you guys know. But at the end of the day, these things really stuck out to me, and these really helped me put me in the position that I am currently in. So the first thing that I really noticed that I personally did when I was younger is I got myself in good money habits very, very early on. And I'm not talking about like 16, 17, 18, I'm talking before that. Obviously not everyone's gonna have that, I guess, luxury, not everyone's gonna have that mindset early on. But me personally, I was very fortunate. When I was very young, I started working at the age of 12 to 13 years old. I started reffing soccer. And every time I got paid from soccer, a lot of times you got paid right there, you got paid in cash. Every now and then it was a check, so it took a little bit of time to come in the mail. But even when I was 12 or 13 years old, I was putting money away. Unfortunately, I wasn't investing that money. If I was, I probably would be a multi-millionaire by now, but unfortunately, you know, it is what it is. So what I did every time I got paid, I reffed on the weekends, so every weekend when I got paid, I took a certain percentage. I don't even remember what it was. It might have been like 90% or something stupid, because what do you have to spend money on at 12 or 13 years old? Candy? You know, gummy bears? Like, there's not much you're really spending money on at that age, because you don't drive. You can't really go too many places without your parents bringing you. And when you're that young, most parents might even just give you money to do whatever you want, but that's besides the point. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, like, 12 or 13 years old, reffing soccer, like, oh, little Jossie, that's so cute that you were able to take $5 from reffing a soccer game and put that in your little piggy bank. Shut up, Karen, all right? First of all, some of these games paid $20 an hour, $50 an hour, some even paid $100 an hour. What, are you making $100 an hour at whatever age you are? Never mind at 12 or 13 years old. Like, it was a lot of work, and I really, really grinded for years doing this, and I'm very fortunate that by being able to do this and having that reffing background, having that reffing occupation, I was able to put myself in a better financial position when I was 15 years old than some people are in now. And as I got more and more into investing, those habits fortunately carried over. So instead of figuring out a certain percentage that I could put into my bank account, I started to figure out a certain percentage that I would put into the stock market, into my Roth IRA, to my brokerage, whichever portfolio I wanted to allocate capital to at that specific time. And then I started to play around with the compounding calculator. Guys, if you ever want to change your financial mindset, go and play around with a compound interest calculator. You can literally just Google, like most things, you can just Google, type in compound interest calculator and start playing around with different numbers and percentages that you put in, $100 a month or maybe $100 a year even, and see what that compounds to over the next 30 or 40 years. And the numbers are gonna be mind-blowing, I can guarantee you that. And that really changed my mindset completely. Like, my world was flipped upside down when I really started to play around with that compound interest calculator. But as I started to do that, my investing mindset continued to grow and grow and grow, and I just wanted to put more money into the stock market, into different asset classes. And it led to that mindset of what else can I cut back on? What's something that I don't need? What's something that I can get rid of out of my life? So that way I can get to these financial goals and I can grow that portfolio a lot faster. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people are not either A, working at 12 or 13 years old for very good reasons, because they're probably spending money on candy or going to the movies or something like that, or B, if they are working at that age, they don't have the financial mindset that they really need in order to get themselves in good money habits later on. So for this scenario, let's say that I did not start working on 12 or 13 and I did not get myself in good money habits, and now I'm 18, 19, 21 years old, however old I might be, and I say, oh shoot, I'm short on money. What I would do is I would immediately acknowledge the fact that I'm short on money, admit it, be okay with talking about it, but then I would also start to really invest as much as I possibly could. I build up an emergency fund first. That would be my first priority, which is an investment. I look at that as an investment. I really do, especially when you're first starting out. And when you accomplish that, that's awesome. But after that, I would start to invest as much as I possibly could in the stock market without, not paying my bills or anything like that. I would pay myself, which is a term that you hear probably a lot, and that's a term I'm going to use the rest of my life. Pay yourself. You work hard for your money, pay yourself. So whatever you can afford to start, $5, $10, $100, whatever the case may be, no matter how small, just start. And personally, I think it's actually better to start smaller, because say you have $10,000 in your bank account. If you invest $10,000, you're literally gonna freak out at the volatility. I know, trust me, I've done things like this in the past. I put too much money into it quickly. It doesn't always end in the best case scenario. It doesn't give you the best mindset. You can't sleep at night. You literally go crazy. So start small and you're gonna be amazed at how fast that portfolio grows. And soon that portfolio is gonna be at $1,000, it's gonna be at $5,000, it's gonna be at $10,000. And then all of a sudden you're gonna be sitting there saying, hey, I have $10,000 on the market. I got a 10% return last year. That's $1,000. And the returns, as you continue to build that portfolio, they're just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, the second thing up on this list that I noticed really made me, I guess, be able to invest all this money in the stock market and be able to achieve this higher level of net worth than most achieve at the age of 25 is I was able to learn from my mistakes, and I was willing to learn from my mistakes. And I feel like this is a big issue with a lot of people. A lot of people make a mistake, they do something wrong in anything in their life, maybe money related, maybe not money related, and most people don't want to learn. They just want to chalk it up and they take the L. Like, what NFL team do you know loses on Sunday and does not watch the tape back the next day? Like, I would say zero.
So I don't know how to answer that. I don't watch film.
Now, I've said several times on the channel that I've lost over $1,000 in the stock market before when I was younger, trying to day trade, trying to get in and out of stocks very quickly. Unfortunately, Nick Wright Bodybuilding, RIP, did not have his mastermind day trading course out by then, so I could not follow that.
Happy to announce that I'm fluffy.
Just kidding, he actually doesn't have a course. And I went away from investing for a little bit of time because I was like, this is gambling, this isn't good, I shouldn't be doing this, this is not the best place to put my money. I was being like one of the other many ignorant people, for lack of a better term. I'm sorry, but one of the ignorant people in this world that really did not want to take the time to learn a new skill, to learn a new lifestyle, whatever the case may be, however you want to phrase it. Like, I remember going into the closet at work and literally owning 2 shares of Netflix stock and freaking out because I bought it at like $2.90 and it went down to like $2.87, and legitimately freaking out in my mind and being like, I'm gonna lose every single dollar to my name by doing this. Obviously, I should have held Netflix stock, but I only held 2 shares, so I guess I didn't lose that much money, you know what I mean? But eventually I was willing to go back to it, and I really started to learn from other people, and I started to research. I found financial education. I found Warren Buffett, and I really started to listen to their philosophies and principles and what they believe in. Graham Stephan was getting into the game at the time. He really helped me put a lot into perspective. Actually, I probably owe a lot to him the most, because he really showed me that you can legitimately change your life just by simply investing and just researching and learning. And I think this really holds a lot of people back in a lot of ways. And I think if you're someone like this that made a mistake in their life or did something they really don't like, regardless of whether it's money related or not, just try to learn from it and go back and say, what did I do wrong? Because maybe you were on the right track, you just didn't give it enough time. So the third thing up on this list that I want to talk about and I want to discuss that really allowed me to put me in this position to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars at a very young age is I prioritized my goals. Now, stop me if you heard this before. Maybe you know so-and-so who has this idea, you know so-and-so who wants to do this, but they're not doing it. That's because they're not prioritizing their goals. And for a lot of people, if they're willing to prioritize their goals, they're not willing to do it for a long enough period of time where it's gonna be worth it. Maybe they stop after a few days or a few weeks or maybe even a few months. They don't give it a couple of years for whatever they're working on to really grow. Me personally, I knew from a very young age I wanted to have a lot of money, and mainly for my lifestyle, for my future children, for those type of things. I didn't want my significant other and me to always be fighting over money, because that's one of the biggest issues in relationships and marriages is money. So I knew I didn't want that to be an issue, and I really hope it's not an issue. Obviously you can never tell what the future holds, but as long as I don't get complacent and I continue to grind every day and I just keep that same hunger, keep that same mindset, keep that same long-term vision, you know what I'm saying, then it should work out for me and I should be able to achieve that goal. Now me personally, when I have something I really want to accomplish, when I put my mind to something, I go ahead and I make it happen. And now, I understand that everyone has very, very different situations. Everyone has a different hand they've been dealt. I 110% understand that. I'm the last person that you're going to need to tell that to. But I feel like a lot of the people I'm around, they literally just go through the same old bullshit every single day and they just complain. And they can go ahead and start something and do something to really change their life, to change their financial future. And they just don't. And again, I understand some people really don't have the time, like legitimately cannot. Everyone has a different situation, I get that, but I'm saying there's a lot more people out there that can do something about it. And you know, if you are someone who says they don't have the time, let's say you work 12 hours a day, which some people may do. So you might be watching this and you may actually work 12 hours a day. And let's say you sleep 8 hours a day, which most people do not. Let's be honest, most people do not prioritize their sleep. Even if they think they do, a lot of the times they don't. What are you doing with those other 4 hours? First of all, you watching Netflix. Maybe you do have an excuse. Maybe you have kids you're taking care of. Maybe you have something going on, like yada, yada, yada. I get it. But if you're someone that's watching this video that isn't working a 12-hour day, is not sleeping 8 hours, where is all your time going? Maybe try something, and I've mentioned this in videos before, where you track your time and you see where it's going and what happens. That might be beneficial, but if you say you don't have time, a lot of the time, you do have time, if you know what I mean. Now, the fourth thing on this list I want to talk about is, that really helped me, is I was willing to go outside my comfort zone. I wasn't as willing to do that as I am now, but I was willing to do it. I was willing to take those risks. I was willing to do things I was uncomfortable with in order to achieve the goals that I wanted. But there are so many people that, for example, don't want to move jobs. Everyone loves the job they have, everyone wants to stay there, but they have another job offer that offers them significantly more money, but they don't want to be uncomfortable, so they want to stay with that job they have. They want to stay with that same day-to-day thing. And here's the thing, guys, and this is not going to be easy for you to hear, but that's how you grow, not only financially, but as a person. And I've said this in so many different videos, the best time to look for a job and get a new job is when you already have a job, because you can can negotiate a raise legitimately right off the back. Say you're making $50,000 a year. You can legitimately go get a new job and negotiate a raise at that job to the point where you're making $60,000 a year. And if you're doing similar day-to-day tasks, you just gave yourself a 10 grand raise. What would you, everyone wants another $10,000 lying around, but no one wants to go and work for it and grow for it. Guys, go outside your comfort zone, do things you're not familiar with. It doesn't have to be financially, but I'm telling you, if you start doing that, it's gonna carry over to every other aspect of your life.
We all came from nothing, everything that we got is out the mud, no lie. You were made for greatness, and if I can do it, you can do it too, but your soul must fly. Your soul must fly, Your soul must fly,
Okay, and the last thing up on this list is don't have a scarcity mindset. Guys, this absolutely blows my mind how many people I come across in this day and age that have a scarcity mindset. Like, legitimately, everything you ever want to learn is out there. Like, anything, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's financially, self-development, anything you want to know, you can legitimately figure out. And people don't want to do that. They don't want to learn. They just want to have that scarcity mindset and not believe that anything is possible and the sky is the limit. If you have that mindset, it's going to be really hard for you to be successful in any aspect of your life. I truly believe if you can start having this mindset in one aspect of your life, whether it's financially, self-development, whatever it is that you really want to go after, it's going to carry over to everything you do with the rest of your life. And I can honestly say it has for me, and I'm very, very happy to say that. So I'm gonna wrap the video up here. Those are the 5 things that really stuck out to me that I've done that have led me to, I guess, I'll be a little modest here, this somewhat level of success. Again, I really don't think it's anything astronomical. I don't think it's anything super impressive. It's just something that I feel like can help people just by going over some things like this. And again, this isn't some sort of flex. This is just me trying to help out anyone who really needs a little bit of a push or a little bit of a helping hand to really change their future for the best case scenario. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this different style of video. These are kind of the videos I'm gonna be putting out for the next maybe month, a couple of months, and just kind of see how they do, see if people like them better. If you don't like these videos, we can definitely go back over to that infamous whiteboard behind me and start filming it over there again, or I can start sitting on the couch and making those style of videos as well. Thanks again for watching, guys. Like and subscribe as always, and I will see you guys in next week's video.